Hi everyone, my name is Sarah. Welcome back. Today I am going to be talking about dragons. I love dragons. I realised this, I guess this year, that I'm just into dragons. So this is a start of like a project for myself to find dragon books / series that I enjoy. So I'm cheating a bit with this because I'm starting off with three that I have started already and know I enjoy. And added at the end is some vlog clips of me trying another very well-known dragon series, which I will mention when I get to it. So, as I said before, I'm quite new to fantasy in the grand scheme of things. And why do I like dragons? I don't know why. I don't know whether I enjoyed all the dragons in the realm of the Eldlings, all the lore and the progression with that, with the ship of magic and the Life Trader series and the Rain Wilds. I don't know. There's just something about dragons that I enjoy. So I have decided to find some series that I'm into. And so I will start with the one that I began with first this year, and it's probably the one that made me go, yeah, I like this sort of thing. And then you'll sort of notice a trend with the three series that I've already started and enjoy. A common theme that I seem to like in my fantasy dragon series. So the first one is very well known, is A Natural History of Dragons, the Lady Trent Memoirs by Brennan. Now this started off as like a buddy read with Win on their Patreon, and Win at Literary Diversions, one of my very good pals. We were meant to be reading one a month, and like most things, we always like try to do good things, but we don't always achieve them. But anyway, I read the first one, and I did enjoy it enough to continue the series, but there wasn't enough dragons in the first one. So this starts with Isabella, who has a very keen interest in dragons, but she lives in a society which is very much a Victorian society, really. It's set in a fictional universe, but it's all the Victorian sensibilities, the sort of class issues, the sexism issues with women, that sort of thing. So she is obviously expected to make a good marriage and do all the normal things that a lady does, but she ends up meeting a man who likes the fact that she's into dragons, and they go on a expedition, and we go from there, and she becomes a figurehead in the dragon community, and each book is a installment in her memoirs. So yeah, the first one I did enjoy. I didn't. It's taken me a little while to warm to Isabella, and I sometimes think she's a bit naive, which I understand. Sometimes she's a bit aloof, and I know some people sort of have suggested that she is perhaps neurodivergent. I don't know if someone who's neurotypical. I can't claim anything like that, but I just sometimes think that the writing of her character hasn't always been my favourite. Sometimes I think that she takes too long to form thoughts and ideas, and that doesn't make sense for the rest of her character. But as the book series has gone on, I have enjoyed them more. There's a lot of politics in these, which I don't care as much for. I'm really sort of here for the dragons. I don't mind the politics, but it's very like British Empire style stuff. I think the country she's called Skirling, and which very much Skirland, which definitely feels like the England, doing things they shouldn't. And so yeah, but as the series has gone on, I have enjoyed them. My favourite so far has been probably this one, which is The Voyage of the Basilisk, which I think is book 3. They don't tell you the numbers. This one had a great amount of dragons. Excellent amount of dragons. This one, less about dragons. If I was going to rate out of dragons, I would give this one a solid, I don't know, maybe like 2.5 dragons out of 5 dragons, in terms of the amount of dragons you get for your pounds or your dollars, wherever you're reading. there could be more dragons. But as the series goes on, you see more and you see varieties. And one of the things that I really like about this is there's illustrations, which really adds to the idea that this is like her memoir series. So yeah, she's an interesting character, and I do like her now. I've definitely warmed her. I think she's settled in to herself a lot more. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting one. It's very feels fantasy like. I know there's dragons, but besides that, it feels very real. And like I say, as you'll see the other two series I'm going to talk about, you'll sense that that's a pattern that I found. So I've read up to book 4, and so I have 2 left, and I have the last official one, which is Within the Sanctuary of Wings, and then I have Turning Darkness into Light, which is written by one of her grandchildren. I want to say it's her granddaughter. So this was technically part of the series. I know not everyone wishes to partake in this one, but I will be, because I get a great amount of comfort out of reading these series. I have a lovely time with them. I sort of know what I'm going to get, and I enjoy them, and I will miss them when they're done. But it's nice to have a completed series. Yeah, so that's book 1 of my dragons. Now, book 2, we have Temeraire by Naomi Novik. And this is called His Majesty's Dragon, I think. His Majesty's Service. No, that's a James Bond film, isn't it? James Bond with dragons would vastly improve that series, because James Bond. I hate the books. I had to study some of them. It's not to do with dragons, but I had to study some of the James Bond stories for university as part of a spy module. I hated it. Hated every second of it. But I got a great score on my essay for it. So, anyway. This is Temeraire, the first one. And you know what's great about this series? They have numbers. Can you believe it? They actually have numbers. Yes, so this one is what if the Napoleonic Wars happened, but also there's dragons. So basically we have all the same setup of the Napoleonic Wars, but there's also the Dragon Corps division, which I think of it as like an early RAF. Is RAF the one in the skies? Yep, they're the one in the sky. One in the skies. One with the aeroplanes. You know, as someone who comes from a army family, you think I would know these things, but neither of them, my dad and my brother, did not fly planes. They drove tanks or fixed tanks, and they go on the ground. Anyway, dragons. Back to dragons. Yes, so Napoleonic War, and this starts off with Captain Will Lawrence, who is captain of a ship. They end up taking over a French ship, and on board the French ship is a dragon's egg, which you find out later on that it has been gifted from another country, and I'm trying to be vague because I can't remember how much we're meant to know, which is a problem when you're talking about a series where you're a few down the line. So when a dragon egg breaks, when the dragon hatches, you have to bond quite quickly, and it's a bit. I think it's whoever the dragon accepts the harness from is the one that will be their mate. And Will had never any intentions to become bonded to a dragon. It's kind of looked down upon a little bit in society, even though it's still a very important part of the war effort against the French. But the dragon ends up taking a shine to Will, and he becomes the rider, and he names the dragon Temeraire. Now this is cool because Temeraire talks. The dragons in this world talk, and I love that. I loved the first one in this series. I just felt so enraptured with it. I loved the relationship that Will and Temeraire formed. They just adore each other. They are beyond loyal to not only each other, but to other dragons and to their country. It's lovely. And I just love how sort of regal Temeraire is, very sure of himself, very confident, and he becomes very interesting as the series goes on, as he loves being read to, so we'll read him all these different things, and he's educating the dragon in all sorts of things, which kind of gets him into trouble at times, but I find it really interesting. I think this is a 9-book series. I'm on to book 4, and I've stupidly left book 4 upstairs, but I can't remember what book 4 is. So I've read Temeraire, I have read Throne of Jade, and I have read Black Powder War. So I'm on book 4 at the moment, which I will put on the screen. It does not tell you in book 3 what it's called. I will say I have enjoyed the series less as I've gone on. I think there is so much politics again that I'm just not as interested, and there's quite a lot of battle scenes on as the dragons and their riders are fighting, which if you're into battle scenes or stuff like that you might enjoy, but for me I'm not as into them. And don't get me wrong, I do still really enjoy the series, but I'm not as enamoured with it after as I was after book 1. I just it was so good. It's probably my favourite first book of the series, any of the series I'm going to talk about. But yeah, I hope we sort of settle into some other stuff. I'd like to see Temeraire doing some other things besides fighting, which, I mean, I know it's the point of the book series is that it's Napoleonic War. But yeah, this gets, for the amount of dragons, I guess you can 4 out of 5 amounts of dragons in it. And I love that they talk. I love a talking dragon. And how cocky they are. I like that a lot. So yeah, so that is the second dragon series that I'm currently reading. Right, and so the third series that I am in the middle of, well, actually I've only got 1 book left, and it's another one I mentioned briefly in another video, and that is the Miss Percy series by Quenby Olson. Miss Percy's Pocket Guide series, and the first one is Miss Percy's Pocket Guide to Raising a Dragon, I think. I can't remember all the names of the titles, I'll be honest. But yeah, so this starts off, I think we're in Georgian, possibly Regency, England, so we're talking like the early 19th century, so like the 1810s, 1820s, that sort of thing. And again, this is like the real world, and Mildred Percy lives with her sister and essentially is the dog's body for the family and looks after her nieces and nephews and lets her sister berate her because she has nowhere else to go. She ends up being left a chest, I think, of stuff from their uncle, and inside is a stone. It looks like a big stone, and she ends up taking it to the local vicarage as he teaches the children, and they thought maybe it's a quartz or something. Maybe if they cut into it there'll be a quartz, and so she leaves it with him. And then one day she gets visited saying, I think you should come to the vicarage because the rock is moving. And when she gets there, a dragon comes out. It was a dragon's egg, who she lovingly takes care of and calls Fitz, and he is so precious. He's such a cute little dragon, and this is her story of how to look after them, what to do with the dragon, where did they come from, what should they do. There is scheming and shenanigans from her family, who believe that they are entitled to the dragon, because to be the first person in history, to their knowledge anyway, who has a dragon, that would be quite something. And she is a older lady. She is described as, being curvy and older, and is just an unusual main protagonist. There is the slowest of slow burn romances, and it's so sweet. It feels very Regency, like Jane Austen-esque. It does really feel like a dragon plopped into Jane Austen land. It's got that sort of sweetness and satire. It's just lovely, and Miss Percy's journey with herself and with others and how people treat her is just so lovely. It's one of the most loveliest, wholesomest stories that I can remember reading for a long time, and I love it. I've only got 1 left, and I'm really sad and scared to finish it. But I believe that Quenby Olson said that she will return to the series, and I really hope so. So I will finish that soon. I will, but I am scared to finish it. In terms of how many dragons, I mean, I give it a 1 out of 5 for the amount of dragons that are in the book. But in terms of vibes, way more than 1. There's so many vibes. It's so lovely and adorable. It's a sort of hidden gem. It's got quite a lot of ratings on like Goodreads, Storygraph, etc. But it's not one that I found out about easily. It was on a sort of smaller YouTube channel that I found out about it. I thought, oh, I'll give it a try, and oh, I love it. I love him. But yeah, so that's the third one, the series I'm currently reading. Now, the fourth, oh, I've planned this really well. I didn't even intend this. The fourth dragon series, and this is the only one that I tried for this video, is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. So I've got some vlog clips that I'm going to insert, so you're going to see my opinions. And now I haven't wrapped it up yet. I have not got a wrapping up clip, so I will tell you my final thoughts after this brief interlude. So I'm 29 pages into Fourth Wing. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it, but I said I'd give it a go on some sprints. I said that if I read it, I would vlog. So I'm 29 pages in. So I don't have much to say. That's 3% in. My edition on my Kindle is 648 pages, which seems long. But I'm just guessing. It's just a guess. That the love interest is going to be Xaden. Is that his name? With an X. Xaden Riorson. Because it says, that Xaden Riorson. He's a third year. And he will kill you the second he finds out who you are. And the main character was in a Violet. Says that's bullshit about him being there. So I'm guessing he's love interest. I don't actually know anything except for there's dragon riding and romance, and that is phenomenally popular. Hi, I'm back again. I'm on page 36. And I'd like to read this bit to you because it made me laugh. There we go. He's tall, with wind-blown black hair and dark brows. The line of his jaw is strong and covered by warm, tawny skin and dark stubble. And when he folds his arms across his torso, the muscles in his chest and arms ripple, moving in a way that makes me swallow. And his eyes are the shade of gold-flecked onyx. The contrast is startling, jaw-dropping even. Everything about him is. His features are so harsh that they look carved, and yet they're astonishingly perfect. Like an artist working a lifetime sculpting him, and at least a year of that was spent on his mouth. He's the most exquisite man I've ever seen. Next page. Ready for the next one, Riorson? The rider with the ripped sleeve says. Xaden Riorson. He sounds dreamy. Nice getting something right, isn't it? It's nice to know that he's really sexy. Really sexy. Listen, I read romance. And I love romance. And I'm not being mean, but that description isn't... It made me smile. It made me smile. Anyway, I hope you liked my dramatic reading of it, and I will continue. I am actually enjoying what I've read so far. I'm quite stressed at the moment, and something like this might be quite fun, but I just thought that description it reads very YA. Is this technically YA? I mean, they're in their 20s, aren't they? I don't know. You would think that I'd know more about Fourth Wing. I just know how popular it is, and dragon riding, and I guess training to become dragon rider. I don't know. Anyway, just thought, I was right. He's fit. He was always going to be fit, wasn't he? If she's told to stay away from him. Of course he's going to be the sexiest mofo you've ever seen in your whole life. Because that's just life. Okay, bye. Hello, it is The next day, I've read about 230 pages-ish of Fourth Wing. It's quite a lot considering. I think this is a case of right time, right book, because I'm tired and a bit stressed and all my other reads are a bit more heavy going, and so this has been like the perfect like brain itch book, you know. It's just doing wonders for me. Now listen, I'm not the first person to ever read this book, but I have to say the writing is not good. There has been phrases which I have laughed out loud at when I don't think I was meant to laugh at them. Some of it is just incredibly cringeworthy. There's a bit where Violet has woken up or whatever, gone up to bed, and she realises her bunkmate isn't there, and she goes, well, at least one of us is getting our much needed orgasms. It's like, who talks like that? No one thinks like that. Like, you could think something similar, like, oh, nice to see someone's getting some, or oh, I'm jealous, I wish I was shacked up somewhere else, but much needed orgasms. No. I think a lot of the problem is actually Violet's internal monologue. It just does not feel like a real person's in a monologue. I don't trust the Dane character, her friend. He just seems too nice. And he's a bit annoying, to be honest, like constantly telling her what she should be doing and her capabilities. It's like, well, she knows her own body, so shut up. I hate that Xaden's nickname for Violet is Violence. It just makes my bumhole cringe every time I hear it. Well, I like the dragon stuff that's just happened. Because up until this point, it's been lacking in dragons, and so I'm hoping the dragon amount sort of goes up, because this is really why I'm here for dragons. I'm not really here for the others. I don't care about the characters. They don't particularly feel very real. I think it's just the writing is just a bit sort of thing I can imagine me writing dialogue wise as a teenager. I'm thinking, yeah, that's so mature. But I'm being a bit mean, but I'm having a good time, and really that's the main thing. But yes, I will read some more later. And I'm actually really looking forward to it. Whether this is going to be one of those books where I continue the series afterwards, I don't know. I had a similar thing a few months ago where I read the first in the Crown of Nyaxia series. Was it by Carissa Broadbent? I cannot tell you the name of that book. I still don't know. And I binged that book. Like, I had a great time flying through it, and I thought, yeah, I'll definitely read the second. I have not touched it. I'm not I don't really care. But for the time being, it was perfect for me. Like, just scratches an itch when you're a bit tired but you still want to read. So yes, that's my thoughts so far. My dish is 648 pages, so I've still got a way to go. I don't know why it's so long, considering all the other ones seem to be just over 500 online, but that's okay. So yeah, I will keep you updated on if there's been an improvement in the sexy talk, because so far, I mean, makes me want to become a nun the way she talks about sex. But oh well, I'm here for the dragons. And I hope there's more dragons, because some of the stuff that's happening with dragons is pretty cool. So I will update you later. Bye. Hi, it is a couple of days later. I'm in the same jumper, but it is a couple of days later. I'm now 400 pages into Fourth Wing, which is 60% apparently, and I'm having a time. The writing just continues to kind of irritate me and make me cringe. I think part of it is that Violet is what, 19, 20, and Xaden is a couple of years older. So they're adults, but the way it's written feels like young adult. So when she's having these intimate thoughts, I feel a bit like it's inappropriate for me to be hearing these things. It feels like that's something that I should not be reading as someone who's in my 30s and should I don't want to be in a teenager's head, but she feels much younger, but also speaks like she's a peep show. um, I just find the romance, which is starting to sort of pick up a little bit now, incredibly. Ah! Nothing that there's not that there's anything wrong between them, like it just does nothing for absolutely nothing. And it's interesting because I really like romance books. I read romance quite a lot. Not so much this year, but it's like one of my like comfort genres, and I just do not care. And I found this when I was reading the Crowns of Nyaxia, the first book, whatever it's called. In that the plot stuff with all the trials and all that I liked, but when it came to the romance I don't care. And it's just interesting that for someone who actually quite likes it when books include romances as like a background plot, I don't seem to be enjoying them in these romantasy novels. Now the only other romantasy I've read is the Saint of Steel series by T. Kingfisher, but they're very, very different vibes, aren't they? Whilst there's romance in them, there's quite a lot of like overarching plot, but also, I mean, to be fair, I also have issues with T. Kingfisher's couples in her books because all the couples are the same. They yeah, they all have the same journey with their romances. So I don't know, and this is, I guess, slightly spoilers. What I'm gonna say, maybe I'll write spoiler, and then when I'm finished talking, I'll get rid of it. It's very loose spoiler. Anyway, so there's a bit where Violet's dragon is mating with its partner, and because they have their bond that the rider has with the dragon, Violet also gets horny. She's getting horny off the vibes of the dragon, and I mean that is just too much. That's dragon riding to a level that I'm not really there for. I just found it incredibly embarrassing. I put my head in my hands while I was reading it. I mean, there's being close and there's that, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm kind of losing interest in it, and I just, maybe because I'm less tired, so the ease of it is not as appealing anymore as it was when I first started it. I don't know, I'll finish it, but it is very long. And I feel like I've read 400 pages, and I kind of think, how? Which in a way is a compliment, like, it doesn't feel like I've read 400 pages, but equally, how are we still in the book? And, I don't know. Anyway, so, not the best, not the worst, but I will probably update you now when I finish, because I've got like 200-ish pages. It's not terrible, but I'll be honest, I don't really see why it's got like 3 million ratings on Goodreads. That's a lot of people to read it. But anyway, I will update you. Maybe at a different jumper next time I see you. That would be crazy. Anyway, bye. Right, so what do you think I thought of Fourth Wing? To add on some thoughts, now that I have finished it, one thing that I don't know if I mentioned in the previous clips, but is that Rebecca Yarros does not trust her readers to have the patience to wait to find something out. It's quite heavy-handed. You think, oh, intrigue. Oh, I wonder how this is going to play out. Oh, next chapter. Oh, it's resolved. Okay. Well, okay then. The relationship between Violence and the man. What's his name? I can't remember his name now. I've already forgotten his name. I don't like it. I have no interest in it. I don't like feeling like I'm in a teenager's head while they're having sex, doing it big time, because I just don't want to hear that. They feel much younger than they are, and I just can't take it serious, the name he calls her. I just had no interest. When I started it, I was having quite a lot of fun, and it was really good for my sort of concentration levels at the time because I'm tired. And so for that I commend it, but as the book went on, I thought, oh, this is not a good book. It's not a good book. It's not very well written. The writing is cringy, especially when it relates to Violet's inner thoughts about the dude, whatever his name is. I just felt I've googled the endings, like what happens in the next ones. I have no plans or wishes to continue on with the series, but am I glad I tried Fourth Wing? I don't know, to be honest, not really. I gave it like 2 stars. But in terms of the dragons were great. I would like that story written by someone else. Is that a mean thing to say? That I think someone else could have done that story and it would have been really phenomenal. I think the dragon stuff was really interesting, and I would happily read about the dragons again, but I'm not reading the others. I just don't like her. I just don't like it. It's not for me. I tried my hardest, but I'm not a Fourth Wing girly, and also I don't like the romances in a lot of these. I just find them very cringy, which is strange as someone who really likes romance books. In fantasy, I don't tend to like them. The only one I can think of that I've liked is the very, very slow burn romance that's happening in Miss Percy, because it's so wholesome, whereas this was, have fireworks setting off while they're breaking furniture and doing it. I'm like, oh my god, you animals. I couldn't be bothered with it all, to be honest. So yes, this is my first dragon video. So as I read more dragon series, because I'm wanting to, I will film more. And so, about how many dragons would I give it in terms of the I get 3 dragons out of 5, because for the first half of the book you don't really see dragons, and then you do get dragons, and that I do like the way the dragons are done, because you can like communicate with them in your mind, and that was cool. Anyway, tangent. So yeah, in terms of what dragon series I'm going to read next, I know one of my Discord friends, Eleanor, would really like me to read A Language of Dragons, and I'm really excited about this, and this would kind of fit into the 3 series that I am enjoying of dragons set in a real sort of world. This is set in the 40s in World War II, sorry, not the 40s, the 20s, in a post-World War I universe at Bletchley. So that feels like something that I would enjoy, because it kind of matches what I'm enjoying about the other ones. What else? Maybe Samantha Shannon. Maybe Aragon. I've got Aragon. Hello. He's cute. He's a cute colour. Who else have I got? I've got Anne McCaffrey, the Pern series I could try. Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. Yeah, I've got options. But yeah, if you have any dragon options, please let me know, because I like dragons. As you can tell, I'm wearing a cool dragon top. It kind of fits some of my interests, like medieval sort of style art dragons. So yes, that's everything I have for you today. It's a sort of shorter video. Well, it's still 20 minutes. I still yap a lot. But yes, so let me know if you've read any of these, or if you have any dragon recommendations. I will more than happily take them off your hands and read them. So yes, I hope you're having a lovely December. I am, to be honest, mostly wanting to read Christmas murders. I'm right next to my crime shelves. This is not relevant. Anyway, the point is, I hope you're having a nice December and doing lots of festive things. I've just been to soft play where the Grinch was there, and I took an onion in, because you get a surprise. We actually didn't get a surprise from the Grinch, so I bought a cupcake and gave it to my daughter and said that's what the Grinch wanted you to have. Also, I stole my onion back. They said our onion was the best though, because it's like a perfectly round onion. Should I put a clip? You don't need to see a picture of my onion, but it's just so pleasing. Even Cindy Lou was there, who looked suspiciously like the person who served me when I came into the soft play. Anyway, ask me where I got my onions from. This is not interesting to anyone but me. On Onion Tube. Is that a thing? Booktube, Onion Tube. Anyway, okay, I'm going to go now. Bye bye.